Oh, look at the grown man. Look at the grown man. Oh,
I'm still a little boy at heart,
Yep, you're right. 20 years old. 20 years old. Act 10, but 20 years old.
Nah, more like 5 years old, more like 5.
Maybe 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months, 5 months, probably 1 month.
How I feel? How I feel? Would be 20.
I don't know, man. I just turned 20. I think I gotta go through the hurdles and reach 21, hopefully, before I can say how I was 20. You know what I mean? But it feels like a regular day, regular age to me. People live and die every day. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Never be fucking positive. Like what the?
I am positive. That was positive.
People live and die every day. Fuck.
Am I lying?
No, but why? Why you always gotta be so negative?
That's not being. I'm chilling, bro.
No, you're not. No, you're like you know you can feel happy that you made it. Another year alive.
Yeah. I feel good. I'm chilling. I feel good. A regular day. It's just a regular day.
It's just a regular day.
Nah, I feel good though. Thank you so much. I feel cool. I feel cool, man. It's nothing like I just feel chill. Like I don't want to I'm getting to that young adulthood stage in which I don't want to show much emotion. I just want to just lay back, just be chill, relax, cool, smooth. Try to be smooth job for at least once in my life.
Just yesterday, he showed so much emotion. Now all of a sudden, he doesn't want to show. You're not just because you 20. That doesn't mean you're a changed man. You're still the same person.
Hey man, let me feel this different. Let me feel different for a second, man. Let me feel different for just a minute. Smooth, chill, calm, collected, nonchalant right now. Just yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, it's your day. It's your day.
Thank you. Well, you too, M.O.B. You gotta celebrate with me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do. Whether that's good or bad. And since that is out the way. Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 105. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from previous games from previous day. Yes, Ja has turned 20 years old today, April 16th.
I wish I was
one. There's somebody else that turned 20 also. But we just remain on you.
I don't know who else turned 20 years old, but just me and my.
Well, that's a shame. But it's a good day. Hope you enjoy your birthday.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy your birthday talking basketball with me, of course, as we always do. So I guess let's go into the grind.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm tired, but I feel smooth. I feel chill. I feel calm. I feel regular.
Well, okay then. We'll say that for a little bit towards the end, not to start on such a low note. So we start on a little basketball game notes. First, let's go over the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers, two best franchises in NBA history and two of the most historic franchises in NBA history. And right out the gate, Jaylen Brown, literally right out the gate, Jaylen Brown got it going, and he did not stop for the entirety of the game. I mean, he was just killing the Lakers. For a team that's one of the best defensive teams, I mean, they really couldn't stop Jaylen. He was doing it all. I mean, he was doing it all to the point it didn't even seem like Tatum or Walker was playing.
One man show.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown was a beast last night. And the Lakers really they couldn't deal with him, and they were struggling defensively against them in the Boston Celtics. And that third quarter, in that start of the fourth quarter, the Celtics just really took over. I mean, it was up like 13 and a half, and then they just started taking over, led by Jaylen Brown, 3-point shooting, and Lakers turned the ball over in key points of that game constantly. And it looked like, man, this is about to be a blowout. Celtics about to run away with this game. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I look down, look back up, it's in single digits. That's how quick the Lakers came back into this game, which is in a blink of an eye. After being down by like what, 20?
Yeah, over 20. I can tell you for a fact, over 20.
And yet, down over 20, and they just come back in single digits, 3-point shooting, tighten up defensively, looking like the Los Angeles Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like, hey, maybe they have a chance. But it was kind of running on late.
Yeah.
By the time they kind of hit their stride and kind of made that huge run and huge jump in that fourth quarter. And it was a little bit too late. Jaylen Brown and the Celtics closed it out. And as a result, Celtics survived that late surge by the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel like down that stretch though, with that run, it was more like they were exchanging baskets though. Like they did play good defense, but it got to that point that the moment they resub back in, like, Brown and Tatum and them within those closing moments, they started trading buckets, which is what you don't want to do. You don't want to trade buckets in a situation in which you just came back down from being down big. You just came back from being down big, and you have an opportunity to steal this game. You don't want to be exchanging baskets with the team, especially a play like Jaylen Brown, who's been hot all night. You know what I mean? You just don't want to do that. But yeah, amazing ability by the Lakers to just just tweak some things so quickly and just to come back like that. But the thing is, I feel like we saw this in the last game with two different teams, Philadelphia and Brooklyn, in which I felt like the Celtics looked like they had a comfortable lead. They looked like, they was going to run away with it. There's nothing need to focus on. They sub out their players and they bring in new guys and they take their foot off the pedal. You cannot do that. It's the NBA. Anything is possible. KG, anything is possible.
Especially in this day and age in the NBA, modern NBA, where everybody shoots threes and the 3-point shot is so deadly. So literally teams can just get back into the game quickly.
Exactly. You cannot let your foot off the gas pedal. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep going, playing with intensity, playing with energy. You got to play with that edge. But with that all aside, Jaylen Brown, skilled, getting polished by the day. If you can see the tremendous improvement. Who he used to look up to, T-Mac? He used to look up to T-Mac, right? You talk about he's polishing up his handle. He's polishing up his ability to work in the mid-range, get into the paint, work in the post. Oh my gosh, the things that he was just doing with the ball in his hands. And he was efficient. Let's just be honest. He was highly efficient. So this is the thing. He's just Jaylen Brown, man. Just what a work of art and what a work in progress.
Yeah, star. And yeah, you said work in progress. It's scary that he can get better.
Yeah.
In which he's already great right now. Man, 40 points on the night, and you said efficient, and he only missed 3 shots out of 20. 3 out of 20 shots. My goodness. But yeah, credit to those Lakers though. Underman team. Credit to that bench of the Lakers. Gotta give credit to Taylor Horton Tucker. Gotta give credit to Ben McLemore, who's kind of been stepping up for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had that late surge, but just a little bit too late. And as you mentioned, trading baskets in a situation where you're trying to make a comeback is never good.
Good. Mm-mm.
So, yep.
And we got
As
Marcus All too. Marcus All
oh
had a
yeah,
good.
Marcus Saul as well. And yeah, as a result, the Lakers do end up falling to their rival, the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
All right, going on to the earlier game of the night, the Milwaukee Bucks going against the Atlanta Hawks. And the reigning MVP returned for this game, and he did make an impact. He did make an impact. Not like a crazy, crazy impact, but
It looked,
notable enough to see, like, yeah, Giannis is playing this game.
yeah. It looked like he played limited minutes to me, in my opinion. Like that's how it looked like to me.
Check.
I could be wrong. It
He
could be it
played
looked
24 minutes, which is not usual. I mean, he plays like what 36 minutes a game.
yeah, I know he plays.
Well, not 36, but like 30 minutes a game.
Yeah. But hey,
Yep.
man, he made his impact be felt in that first half. I can tell you that for a fact. Yeah, but go on.
Giannis did play, and the Hawks and this Bucks team, it was the Hawks were staying in it. They were trying their best to stay in it. Then the third quarter hit, and the Bucks kind of just got into the rhythm more. Kind of got into their flow more. Got kind of the offense going more, and the Hawks tried their best towards that end of the third quarter,
Yeah.
and then the fourth quarter, they also tried as well too. But this Bucks team, fully healthy, and the way they've been playing, even though the Hawks have been playing really great as of late as well, but Bucks team, Middleton, Giannis, Holiday, Brook Lopez, I mean, they was just all the starters came to play,
Yeah.
really.
And it's crazy how you say that because yes, they came to play. Brooke, Drew, all of those guys, man, they came in. This is what I'm talking about with the Bucks. This is a really good, talented team, right? Like,
Mhm.
in terms of probably you can't name much players in terms of individually, but as a team aspect, like how the game should be, it's amazing. And it makes you wonder how would they favor some they're going to favor highly in the playoffs when it comes to playoff time, but it makes you want to say how far could they take this roster that they just assembled this year. Well, they didn't just assemble, but they added on pieces just this year, and they've flown so well like this. It makes you wonder going into the playoffs, how are they going to look then? And then you want to focus on players not named Giannis or not named Chris Middleton.
Mhm.
And you can even say probably not Drew Holiday, but I want to see Drew Holiday. I want to see how could Brook Lopez do during playoff time, because we saw how he did last year. He did surprisingly he did okay. He did okay last playoffs. You want to see
Lopez,
how he does, yeah, and you want to see how Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, right?
yeah, my reporters.
It's like and Thanasis, who when his brother was out, he was kind of like looking like he was the second coming of his brother, like you know what I mean. So it
Yep.
was like you just want to see how these guys look. They just look so. You just want to see them. You just want to see them.
Yeah. And as you mentioned the others, and they stepped up as well. Pat Connaughton had a good game. Bobby Portis, Jeff Teague, PJ Tucker as well. And if the others can really step up
Yeah,
around this team, then they can be very dangerous in the playoffs. If they learn to work around Giannis instead of just, well, we know what they do a lot once they get into tough situations and then once they get into the playoffs, they just change that around.
yeah,
I don't see why this team can't be a championship team.
yeah, man. We've been calling them. They have been a championship ready team for a good minute now.
Mm.
It's just that they don't make they well we talked about
Adjustments.
times no adjustments at all when it comes to they look like they try to run the same thing over and over, and even though they fail to realize it's not working, they still go to it and they end up not being able to get over that hump. But it's going to eventually come to a point where we could keep saying that they're a championship ready team, which we could say for a couple of other teams, but we could keep saying that they're a championship ready team. But when are you going to be about it? When are you going to really prove to us that you're the championship team? When are you going to really take that jump and get over the hump?
Yeah, I'm agree with you. I think everybody's waiting. I think this will be the year where we can see
Yeah.
if they can do that. But yeah, as I mentioned, Bucks came to play, bench came to play. Giannis in his 24 minutes of play came to play. Brook Lopez stepped up. Drew Holiday, Middleton, even though he didn't have the best shooting night, he did do well in terms of everything else
Yeah.
in the game. So credit to the Bucks team. As a result, they end up stopping this Hawks team.
Mm.
All right. Only two other games that happened around the league. Oh, let's go over first.
Um, we can talk about the Cavs versus Warriors first, just to get that out the way. And Sexland, this is not for you. um, yeah. The actually it started off pretty close,
Yes.
and when Golden State that made Curry, like you know what I mean, just like that closeness could go from being so close to being like, how could I put it? If this is close, then like we could probably go all the way up to my ceiling right now. You know what I mean? And that's what Golden State basically did. And don't get me wrong, there was actually like a certain point in the game in which the Cavs started to like make their little small run and
Yeah.
actually hung it back into the single digits. But then once
Mm-hmm.
again, the fourth quarter hit and the Warriors just ran away with it. They just said, not today, Cleveland. Just took over from that point and just closed out the game, especially from the three.
Yeah. Sexland, Darius Garland, and Colin Sexton. I mean, they did have a good game, but
Yes.
yeah, once the Warriors and Curry kind of flipped that switch, it's kind of hard to stop them.
Yeah, man. It's like Curry starts it off, and then you have Draymond who's being the facilitator, and it's like everybody just has this flow to them. I don't know where it is. They get this extra jump, this extra spark, and like they just able to go off.
Yep. Sorry, Colin. Warriors do end up picking up the win. All right, and the other game from around the league.
Yep. I would like to talk about the two-seeded Suns against the best team in the league, Sacramento Kings. Um, and actually, this was a really high-scoring, high-driven game. And it was actually, well, it was at one point in which, like, Phoenix did like gain an advantage early in which they went up by double digits, but this was basically like a close game throughout. Balanced scoring from everyone. You talk about on the Kings side, it was De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Terrence Davis. Like they everybody was contributing, and then you got the Phoenix Sun side in which you got Booker, you have Ayton, you have Paul, you have Cam Johnson. Like it was going on so well, but the better team will always pull out when especially when you play defense. Wait, that was kind of pause what I said pulling out, but sorry, it slipped up.
Yep, 20 years old.
I'm sorry, but yeah, as the fourth quarter hit, Phoenix Suns played like as what we alluded to so many times before, their team defense. Even though they like nobody could truly wow you defensively, probably except for Chris Paul. Like
Mm-hmm.
they could play team defense when they want to, and that's what they basically did in the fourth quarter, in which they started to play team defense. Then they started to get transition buckets. They started to get to the rim more. It looked like there was so many dunks in this game, even though it was probably not that much dunks. You know what I mean? And Phoenix was able to take it over with that kind of ramp up in intensity.
Yep. Phoenix in a tough battle, but they were able to pull out the win against this Kings team, who have now lost 9 straight.
Yeah, best in the league. You know what I mean? Greatest in the league, number one seed.
Let's move on to something else before I just get upset. All right. Before we go into predictions, a lot of news around the league. Most of it not really too happy. Let's go over some injuries or players missing time. One, the Bulls, Zach LaVine, he will be in health and safety protocols, and so he will miss several amount of games for the next um few games for the Bulls. That sucks because the Bulls really haven't been playing well at all. So they kind of need him to stay in that play-in tournament
Yeah.
and to kind of get some momentum going into the play-in tournament. Because last time I checked, the Raptors are one game behind, and the Wizards are also one game behind.
Oh, you know what that means? Sayonara, Bulls. See you next year.
Yeah, Bulls really haven't been struggling ever since they got Vucevic.
Yeah, man. Because we thought this was a great trade for them, a great trade, a great pickup, and
I mean, he's been
I,
playing well. Zach LaVine's been playing well.
yeah, they've been doing what they're supposed to do, but it's just like it hasn't resulted in wins. So it's just like I know adjustments need to be happened because getting acclimated and stuff like that, but it's just like
When you learn acclimated.
I don't know.
He must have heard. He must saw that on heard that on the news or something.
Yeah, I probably heard somebody say it on NBA TV, anyways, too. But like yeah, the sayonara. Just goodbye. See you next year.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, even if he was playing, even if he was playing, I don't see how they would pick it up. But we'll see. Other news. In terms of injury, James Wiseman will be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that he has torn meniscus. It's been announced officially now. He's out for the remainder of the season. Big blow for the Warriors. Big blow for his career, early his career. Had a pretty good rookie campaign when he played.
Yeah. Yes,
But
he did.
now he's gonna be out the sideline, and now the Warriors gonna miss that pick and roll action that he had. That inside presence on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna
yeah.
miss a lot of it, but again, this is his opportunity to use it as a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
get stronger, get better for next season. And you've seen a lot of guys do it. A lot of guys who out with injuries, who are young guys, who are or were young guys, probably when they sit on the sideline, they soak up and they learn more knowledge and energy, and they learn different aspects from the bench perspective. So he could probably use it as an opportunity to do something like that.
Yeah. That would be a good opportunity to learn from the bench, outside looking in.
Yeah.
Also, we see how he'll be able to learn from that and then adjust next season. And now on to last, but definitely not the least. LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't played a game since 10th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because that he had an irregular heartbeat, which he had to go to the hospital. Everything seems to be fine now. He seems to be good. But on his own accord, after that scare, he's decided for the sake of his career, for his life, and his family, he will be retiring from the NBA after what 15 how long you played 15 seasons?
15 years, 15 seasons.
15 seasons at the age of 35. uh I know a lot of people don't remember Aldridge when he was an all-star,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, when he played for the Portland Trailblazers, Marcus Aldridge was, without shadow of doubt, one of the best big men, arguably the best power forward in the game at the time. He was one of the most skilled players in the league, one of the best post players in the league,
Yeah.
and one of the best inside scorers. I mean, once you give him the post, it's going to be a challenge throughout the whole game for you to guard him up. That post jump shot, that post fadeaway, anytime.
Money.
He was just going to give you buckets.
Yeah, man. Money, 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 money. Uh, you already just said it. So skilled in that low block, in that low post. The moment he get the ball, you're at his mercy. You know, was basically he was like since what you could say since like 2010, he was like basic from 2010 till his end of
Like,
this first
from like 2010 to like 2018.
So 2018, he was like one of the top power forwards in the game. you can make that argument for sure. And he was just lethal, man. You talk about his career, especially his career in Portland. He was amazing. He got to play with two great backcourt players anyway, and Dame Lillard, and he played with Brandon Roy before he got hurt. You know what I mean? He did a lot of wonders for that city of Portland. I know again he had a great one with the Spurs too, but mainly that people gonna when they look at LaMarcus Aldridge, they're gonna always remember what he did in Portland because he did a lot of
Yes.
things.
Yeah, he was an absolute beast in Portland. And even when he got in San Antonio, most recently, he couldn't really do as much. But his initial run in San Antonio, I mean, he was an all-star in San Antonio. He adjusted to that system, fit pretty well. I mean, it was against the OKC series that one year. He damn near averaged like 40. I mean, they couldn't stop him. Look up the footage. They could not stop him. And you know what series I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the series you're talking about. You're talking about thing 2015, right?
Yeah, 2015, second round. Yeah, and he was just a great player. Didn't benefit as much from the league changing around him, but he still was great with the league changing around him. Like one of the few players that was still able to, you know, play great basketball, play really well when
Yeah,
that change occurred.
exactly. And again, we talked about well, we talked about this off the record, like you know what I mean. But um, two players played on the same team together. Him and DeMar DeRozan, like two players who, even though the game changed up, they still were able to be effective and dominate in their own kind of way. Because we always say when we look at those two guys, man, if they was to play in like earlier years or earlier eras or whatsoever, they'd be one of the best. They would legit be honestly be one of the best in the game. But yet, for the fact that they were still able to be effective in this time makes them an anomaly because they were still able to be dominant. They were still able to become stars. They were still able to put their names on the map. They were still able to have impacts on their team, lead them to the playoffs and stuff like that. And it's just like, it shows that even though the game may change, there's still guys who are able to still be effective in their own way, follow their own style, and have some kind of impact on their team.
Yeah, and that's what Aldridge did. Multiple time All Star, one of the best power forwards of the past decade. He'll be missed from the game,
And Hall of
but
Famer.
yes, and Hall of Famer. Sad that he couldn't really get that ring that he wanted.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he would have wanted. That's why he went to, Brooklyn. But we'll remember his game. We'll remember everything that he did for this game and
Yep.
how great of a player he was. So enjoy retirement, Aldridge.
Yep.
All right. On to the predictions for tonight's set of games. The hell? Sorry. For tonight's set of games. Pretty lengthy lineup. First, starting off with the afternoon game, 3 o'clock. We'll be nah, but it is NBA TV. We're not gonna go over it, even though we could. Should we? Nah, we're not gonna go over it. Anyway, the Indiana Pacers going up against the Utah Jazz.
Utah.
Utah. Fast forwarding to the night, 7 o'clock. The Thunder going against the Pistons.
Thunder.
Pistons. The first primetime game of the night, or the first ESPN game of the night, 7 o'clock. The Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Pretty interesting matchup.
As I'm gonna go on the limit and say, obviously Kawhi and PG will be playing, so I got the Clippers.
I'm gonna go on that limb, okay. And I got 76ers. Should be an interesting game. The Pelicans. What?
It better be.
The Pelicans going against the Wizards.
Pelicans.
Both teams have disappointed me in the past, so I'm taking my time a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, do you? You got all day, anyways.
I don't have all day. I got the Wizards though. I got the Wizards.
Yeah,
The Hornets going up against the Nets.
I'm nuts.
Nets. The Magic going up against the Raptors.
Mm, the- I'm gonna go with the Magic underdog.
Bold of you. Bold of you. But I got the Raptors. The Grizzlies going up against the Bulls.
Grizzlies. I don't know why I hesitated on that.
Yep, Grizzlies. Luka's not on the Bulls. So
Dang
the Nuggets going up against the Rockets.
Nuggets.
Nuggets. The Heat going against the Timberwolves.
Heat.
Surprise, I got the Timberwolves.
Hmm.
The Blazers going against the Spurs. Two teams that Aldridge played for.
Oh,
It was an all-star for.
Yeah. Oh, what a sweet treat right there. The Blazers.
The Blazers as well. And lastly, the last primetime game of the night, ESPN 9:30. The New York Knicks going up against the Dallas Mavericks. Who do you got?
Dallas.
Goddamn, Luka. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
I just want to say real quick about the LaMarcus Aldridge situation. Great job, great career, lacing him up for sure. Hall of Famer, but it reminds me so much of Chris Bosh because both have so much in the tank left, but yet a certain health condition kind of held them back and had to make them make the decision to retire early when he still has so much more. Cause I feel like both of them. I know LaMarcus Aldridge probably was more on the tail end compared to Chris Bosh, but they still had a lot to give. Like again, in a new NBA in which people are retiring later than expected. Like Aldridge is only 35. I feel like he still had like at least two more good years in the tank. Like probably not all-star, but effective for a team.
No, yeah, I agree with you. He was already showing that in Brooklyn.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's just crazy. It's like that parallel because I heard somebody talking about it earlier on social media, and I was just like, it's crazy because
of course
it's. I know you hate me for that, but I'm like, I'm just being honest. It's true. It's true. Okay. It's parallels right there.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about two of the best power forwards to play, being cut short after they have so much more they could give, even though they were at a later ages, and just man, they were killers. They were just honestly killers.
Yep. And two players that I know a lot of people are not going to see as Hall of Famers, but a lot of people should see them as Hall of Famers.
If you don't see Chris Bosh as a Hall of Famer, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Aldridge?
Yeah, Aldridge for sure, but come on, like Chris Bosh, like Aldridge is a Hall of Famer, no doubt. But Chris Bosh, you talking about a part of probably like the third best draft to ever happen in NBA history. You talk about a person who, when Vince Carter left, he able to keep Toronto up on the map, became an all-star at a young age, and continued to make all-star games, was putting up 20 and 15. He sacrificed, went to Miami to get a chip, and then the moment LeBron left, he went back to doing his old school Chris Bosh ways.
That people don't remember because it was kind of short because of the blood clot that happened.
Exactly. He made all-star teams the moment LeBron left still. People thought he was going to go downhill or Miami was not going to be the same. And it was just going to be D Wade. I was like, no, you must forgot who Chris Bosh is. A low post killer, highly skilled himself. He was probably one of those, what do you call it? Those earlier generations of like the game changing in terms of the bigs, being able to do everything and stretch the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the ground. He was one of those first right alongside KG and Dirk. Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer. I don't know why people question that. Like, come on now. It's impossible to say that he's questionable.
Yeah, I agree with you. Chris Bosh is, without question, he's a Hall of Famer. And so is Aldridge.
Yes, hell yeah.
Talking about 7-time All-Star, but yeah, 7-time All-Star, and someone who was really dominating that low post.
Did you see what he did to Dwight in Houston?
Oh yeah, Aldridge, man, he really has some great years.
Yes, he did.
He'll be missed. He'll be missed.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Wait, let me just make sure. Yep. Yeah, make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast, seeing if it was early or not, but no. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And also follow G down in the description below.
And once again, I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is the My Basketball Podcast.